This show was created to educate and inspire our viewers to become better versions of themselves.
We have the largest prison population on the planet Earth. It's people from our community. It just feels like an injustice.
My name is Speech, and I'm from the hip-hop crew Arrested Development. We're gonna be writing some music. Thank y'all for having me.
If I could go back to when I was young,
These are men that are behind bars, but they still have voices.
I'd undo the things I've done.
I'm making an album. This music is capturing this moment in time.
Listen now, son, you better think twice.
I've been coming back and forth to jail since I was 10 years old, man. I made a career out of that.
I think I'll get one more shot, though. And I think it'll be my last one.
Make what you've been through count. You gotta speak your truth. That's what's gonna free you. The root of your anger, your anguish, speak it. And then let it go.
Okay, I'm ready.
I wrote this to inspire. If you tired of the lying and the bias and the violence, gotta stand on top of that giant like King David in Good Lion.
I do believe in redemption with everybody, with anybody, no matter what they've done.
Vision, feed the children, cause to raise them take a village, educate them about the system that's designed to keep them prison. We the healing.
All right, you know what time it is. It's time for the Power Hour. I'm your host, DJ Larry Jones, a.k.a. Mr. Important. If you don't know me and you don't know anybody, and I have a special guest joining me today, man. And he's from one of my all-time favorite groups, man, Arrested Development. I got Speech right here with me, man. Speech, what's going on, brother?
Doing great, man. Doing real good. Thanks for having me on your show.
Oh, man, it's an honor. I want to say it's an honor, man, and I thank you for joining me on the show today.
Yeah, man. It's really my pleasure, bro.
Man, how you been in this crazy world we living in today, man?
I'm good. I'm getting better and better. You know what I mean? Like, as we get a new president, I'm feeling more optimistic about some direction for the nation as we, getting closer to some type of resolution with this vaccines or this whole virus. I mean, a lot of things are I'm starting to see some light at the end of the tunnel. No pun intended, because I rap about that on our new single, Anya, but yeah, so I'm happy about that. You know what I mean? So it's some sunlight. I lost a lot of friends during this time. You know, it's been very hard.
What are your thoughts on that vaccine, though, bro? Because I've heard at one point where they said some people, with certain jobs, if you don't have that vaccine, you can't come to work. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's unprecedented time, and my initial thoughts was I'm not touching the vaccine because of what's happened to us as a people, in particular in the history of the United States. You know, messing with us with syphilis, all of that, all of the things that have happened to us in the past. But I think that the fact that they're giving it to everybody makes me feel a little more comfortable. At the same time, I've never been, I don't know if you have, but I've never been in this situation. So I'm looking at this as, this vaccine is really needed. And I'm, at this point, I'm planning to, take it myself just in order to get back on the road, to be able to tour, to be able to just proceed with life. And so at this point, I don't have the side eye towards it right now.
Right. And you have been busy. I was going to ask you what you've been doing during the quarantine, but it's, you put out some new music, man. And pretty dope, man. Let's talk about that. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into that new Arrested Development project, man. Talk about it. I listened to it, and like I was telling you earlier, the skits on there is amazing, man. For the people who hadn't heard it yet, let them know what that's about. I mean, it's classic Arrested Development, but let them know what that's about.
Well, it's a boom bap record. It's a really, some of our fans and longtime supporters are saying this is our best record. Others are saying it's the best since our debut. So I'm really proud that, 30 years later, we're still making music that's compelling and people are really wanting to hear it and they're excited about it. So that's number one. The skits, to me, it was one of those situations of trying to tie these songs together because the songs say so much. And sometimes it could get, overwhelming. Like, well, what is the brother trying to say in this joint, And so the skits sort of help set up the story. And I'm from that era of hip hop where skits were a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like the old NWA records, the Chronic record. You know what I mean? Like were a thing. So I felt like I still like setting it up, and I still like the idea of albums. Right. So some people are really only into singles nowadays, and I wanted to make us have a real album project. So yeah.
Now I want to do something, man, and I know we kind of rush for time a little bit, but I want to kind of get into your backstory for the younger generation who need to be taken to school on who Arrested Development is. Let's talk about it for 1 second, man. Now, sure. You guys formed in what, 87? 87?
Yeah, 87. Yeah.
And how did you guys meet? How did you guys meet, and how did you guys come together?
The quick story is I went to the Art Institute of Atlanta, met my man Headliner there. He was a student there too, and we started connecting. And then we started having jam sessions, and everybody started coming on stage, which we invited people on stage, and some of those people ended up being group members, and that's the short story. But yeah, it took some time, you know what I'm saying? It's very organic, but a lot of people just started coming on stage, and we was like, yo, you need to come to the next show with us. And that's how we started working.
And that's how it started, man. I like to take these young cats to school, man, and let them know the history of hip hop, man, because you know what I mean? You guys were like right there, man. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, that album, 3 years, 5 months, 2 days in the life of was classic. You had Mr. Wendell on there. You know, we had People Every Day on there. Did you know that album was going to do what it did? Did you know it was going to become that classic?
Nah, I didn't know it would be as big as it was. We sold 4 million albums. We won 2 Grammys, 2 MTV Awards, Soul Train Awards, NAACP Award. But I did know that it was fresh. Like I felt like it deserved to be recognized. But when it's your first album, you never, or at least I never thought that it would be as big as it was. You know what I'm saying? Right. And for me, I was just happy for us to be signed to a label. I was happy that we were even had a chance, because back in those days, the internet wasn't a thing. So you weren't on a label. More than likely, you wasn't really going to get out there and do any, make any noise. So getting on a label was a huge deal. And I was just grateful to have that. You know what I mean? So yeah, we knew it was fresh though. We just didn't know it would do as well as it did. Yeah, that was pretty dope. Now, is this you guys' first album? Because you guys broke up at one point, didn't you? We did. We broke up in '95, but we got back together in 2000. And we've been doing stuff since. So 20 years we've been rocking again, but mainly overseas, because I did a solo career from 96 actually to 2000. And I had hit records in Japan in particular. And so I started, when Arrested Development got back together, I asked the group, yo, y'all want to release stuff in Japan? And they was like, yeah. And it was good money, good touring, incredible fans. And we got a chance to express ourselves there. So we was doing that for a number of years. Then we got back here. Right. Now, what was the conversation like when you guys decided to come together for this project? What was that conversation like? It was really a COVID situation. So on this project, everybody was in quarantine. I met a dude named Kafiga online, never met him in person still to this day. And he had some really nice hip hop sounds and tracks. And I was like, yo, I'd like to do something with you. So we started passing tracks back and forth. I'm a producer too, so I made some tracks, sent it to him, vice versa. And then some other friends of mine, Chris Acosta, Mark X, they made some tracks. And it all sort of just formed together as this Don't Fight Your Demons joint. And like I said, the reception on this has been ridiculous. Right. Now, what I've always liked about your music, man, is you always stay true to who you are. You never, you know what I mean, rapped about what they wanted you to rap about per se. No doubt. Had that ever been an issue? Had the record label has ever said to you, well, we want you to talk about this because everybody else is talking about that? Has that ever been an issue? Yeah. I mean, over the years, the record label has tried to, sway us one way or the other to talk about various things. And especially not to talk about certain things. So like they would not want us to address certain issues or what have you. And, we've never really allowed that to sway our decisions. You know what I mean? But we paid for that too. So a lot of times they wouldn't promote it. Our second album, Zingala Maduni, they didn't want to promote that very well because of the various things that we talked about and, talk about socialism and revolution and these types of topics, America wasn't too keen on. Plus, at that time, the radio industry was bought out by huge corporations by and large, at least the mainstream radio industry. And so a lot of stuff moved towards a corporate programming, and that sort of, took away a lot of the opportunities for us to get recognized.
All right. Now, last but not least, I have to, because I watched something the other night, and I think I hit you up right after I watched it. 16 bars. Yeah, bro, that was crazy. What was what was going through your mind on the first day of shooting? Because but before you say that, for people who hadn't seen it, let them know what that's about. It's a documentary.
Yeah, it's a documentary, a full-length documentary I did called 16 Bars. It's on Amazon, YouTube, so on and so forth. And I went into a prison, really a jail. Jail and prison are different. A lot of people may not know that. And so I went into a jail and worked with what they call the inmates. I call them the residents. And we did music together, and I documented the whole thing. And it's a powerful movie. I'm glad you watched it, man. We've won. Me and my team have won awards after awards at different film festivals, and we wanted to hit mainstream. We feel like it's still one of those films that, in this day and age, with prison reform and justice reform being a big issue, we feel like this could be a really big movie. So, but yeah, the first day I went in, bro, I was a little afraid because I didn't know what to expect. You know what I mean? I'm one man. I'm going into an institution. I don't know if you've ever been into a jail or a prison, but when those doors lock behind you, there's a sense of helplessness that I can't describe with words. And it's like you are under their control at that point. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And it was a little scary, just like, okay, what's about to happen? But I was quickly surprised by the humanity. And that's what I hope that this film shows people, is like there is a lot of great intelligence, humanity, spirituality, thought that's going on behind these walls. And most of these men and women aren't even really supposed to be in prison or jail. Right. Many of them are in there for nonviolent crimes that really are drug related, and they should be in rehabilitation programs and things of this nature. Some of them need some psychiatric help. So there's a lot of issues that the movie covers, but I'm very proud of that film, man. Thank you for watching.
Oh man, and you got some talented brothers in there, man.
Yeah,
real talented.
I agree.
You held it pretty well. You know what I mean? Especially when you got in there and you did your thing in the beginning. You held it pretty well. Beautiful movie. I had to hit you up when I saw it. I know you got to go. Speech. Thank you so much, brother, for joining me on the show today.
Thank you, brother. Hit me up next time. We'll have more time to build, man. I appreciate the love, though.
Yes, man. Yes, definitely. We got to do it. All right. Make sure y'all keep it locked in right here. It's the Power Hour.
We have the largest prison population on the planet Earth. It's people from our community. Just feels like an injustice.
My name is Speech, and I'm from the hip-hop crew Arrested Development. We're going to be writing some music. Thanks, y'all, for having me.
If I could go back to when I was young.
These are men that are behind bars, but they still have voices.
I'd undo the things I've done.
I'm making an album. This music is capturing this moment in time.
Listen now, son, you better think twice. I wanna lay my burdens down.
I've been coming back and forth to jail since I was 10 years old, man. I made a career out of that.
I think I'll get one more shot, though. And I think it'll be my last one.
Make what you've been through count. You gotta speak your truth. That's what's gonna free you. The root of your anger, your anguish, speak it. And then let it go.
Okay, I'm ready.
I wrote this to inspire. If you tired of the lying, and the bias, and the violence, gotta stand on top of that giant, like King David in Good Lion.
I do believe in redemption with everybody, with anybody, no matter what they've done.
Vision, feed the children, cause to raise them take a village, educate them about the system that's designed to keep them prison. We the healing.
The Power Hour is brought to you by Soul TV.